Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Utapatakabalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्द राधा कान्द नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शबानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण हरि ओम तत्सत्। So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 15 text 3 and 4, right? न रूपमस्येह ततोपलभ्यते नान्तो न चातिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा तथा पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यथा प्रवृत्ति प्रसीद पुराणी। सची माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
न
रूपमस्येह ततोपलभ्यते नान्तो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम् असङ्गशास्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा तथा पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः तं एव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यदा प्रवृत्ति प्रसृता पुराणी।
Okay, translation Arun Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with a weapon of detachment. Thereafter, one must seek that place from which, having gone, one never returns, and there surrender to that Supreme Personality of Godhead from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial.
Very good. So, Ashwatham, the tree is Ashwatham, banyan tree. Okay. So, we don't know where it begins, where it ends, where the foundation is. So, the real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. Why? Because actually, it originates in the spiritual world, from Brahmaloka, okay, from spiritual world. And that's why it is perverted, just like how we are seeing a tree reflected on the water is a perverted form. The root up and the branches downwards. So no one can understand where it ends, where it begins. No, where it is ending, just like if you see the banyan tree also, the roots are such, it spreads like we don't know where it starts and where it ends, isn't it? Even the material, banyan trees are also like that, where all it goes. And it spreads, in kilometers. Very difficult to understand. But with determination, so what we should do? With determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with a weapon of detachment. So we are entangled in this tree of the material world. Okay? So we have to detach ourselves from this strong-rooted tree. Okay. How we can do that? With the weapon of detachment. With the weapon of detachment. Okay. And thereafter one must seek that place from which having gone one never return. And after cutting down these knots of this material world, where we have to go? We have to go to the spiritual world, from where we don't return at all. And when we reach there, we have to surrender the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial. Just 1 second.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. How are you?
Pradam Mataji, how are you?
Good, Mataji. Krishna's mercy.
Now how is your health?
Krishna's mercy, Mataji, improving.
Okay. Mataji, which sloka is going on?
15, 3 and 4, Mataji.
15.34. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, purport. It is now clearly stated that the real form of this banyan tree cannot be understood in this material world. Since the root is upwards, the extension of the real tree is at the other end. When entangled with the material expansions of the tree, one cannot see how far the tree extends, nor can one see the beginning of this tree. Yet one has to find out the cause. I am the son of my father is the son of such and such person, etc. By searching in this way, one comes to Brahma, who is generated by the Garbhoda Sai Vishnu. So it starts from Brahmaloka. Okay. And so we have a connection. We have a father. He has a father. He has father. At last, where do we end? Brahma is a secondary creator. And who is his father? Garbhoda Sai Vishnu. So ultimately, we reach to Krishna. So that's what it said. By searching in this way, one comes to Brahma, who is generated by the Garbhoda Sai Vishnu. Finally, in this way, when one reaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is the end of research work. So now we are entangled in this material world, not knowing where our origin is. Okay? And especially in this big material tree of this universe, we are entangled by doing so many karmic activities, okay, good and bad, all these things, and we are reaping the results of these activities. Okay, so for each and every activity that we do, we have to enjoy or suffer the fruits of that. So that's why, just is as an allegory, it's showing that this we are entangled in this material tree, of this world. Where it starts, actually, it is that's why it is given in this verse that it is a perverted reflection. It's a perverted. Actually, originally, it is there, in the Brahmaloka, but here in this material world, perverted. That's why we don't know our, identity also. We think that this place is meant for us for our enjoyment, forgetting the Supreme Lord Krishna. So we have to cut this attachment to the tree by the knowledge, by the sword of knowledge. That's what it says. Then we have to, slowly and gradually, by research work, we have to go to the supreme abode of Lord Sri Krishna, where actually we belong to. So that's what it says. Finally, in this way, when one reaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is the end of research work. One has to search out that origin of this tree, Supreme Personality of Godhead, through the association of persons who are in knowledge of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then by understanding, one becomes gradually detached from the false reflection of reality. And by knowledge, one can cut off the connection and actually become situated in the real tree. Just like the mirage, in a summer season, we see water ahead of us, isn't it, on a road? But is there water? No, isn't it? So similarly, we are also thinking that this life, which we can enjoy in this material world, but there is no life. The real life is in the spiritual world. So we have to get out of this material existence with the sword of knowledge. So we have to cut this attachment to this material tree and get ourselves situated in the spiritual tree, the real tree, which has its residence in the spiritual world. So the word asanga is very important in this connection because the attachment for sense enjoyment and lording it over the material nature is very strong. Therefore, one must learn detachment by discussion of spiritual science based on authoritative scriptures, and one must hear from persons who are actually in knowledge. So, asanga shastrena. Asanga shastrena. That is the word, it is used here, isn't it? Asanga shastrena, dridayana chitva. Drida, with determination, the intelligence. Asanga shastrena, dridayana chitva. Chitva. Tatha, weapon of detachment, dridayana, strong. With the weapon of detachment. So, but with determination, one must cut down the strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Thereafter, one must seek that place from which, having gone, one never returns, and there surrender to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything began and from whom everything is extended since time immemorial. So, therefore, one must learn detachment by discussion of spiritual science based on authoritative scriptures, and one must hear from persons who are actually in knowledge. As a result of such discussion in the association of devotees, one comes to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we have to have association of good devotees. Okay. Then only we can attain the goal of human life. Otherwise, it's not possible. The first thing one must do is to surrender. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshana. Tadvidhi pranip, surrender. That is the first thing. Pranipat means when you pay obeisances, you are surrendering to that person. Otherwise, why should we do that? Okay. So total surrender should be there. And how that surrender? It should be followed by pariprasnena. You should inquire, who am I? Why I am suffering this material world? Why others are not suffering? Why this disparity in this material world? So we should inquire. This is the inquiry that we should, because otherwise, if God is impartial, why this disparity? Why I am suffering? Why other person is not suffering? So this question should be asked. So when we surrender only, we can ask this question, pariprasna. Then what we should do? Sevaya. And we have to serve, menial service we have to do to the spiritual master, because they are the persons who have seen the absolute truth, who have realized the absolute truth. So from such personalities, such acharyas, such liberated personalities, we should hear. They can impart the right knowledge to us. With our tiny intelligence, we will not be able to make it out. So that is what we have to do. So surrender. First thing one must do is surrender to him. Okay. So without surrender, if we want to argue, we will not get anything. So even otherwise, material also, if you try to argue with some person, they will not be happy. They will not impart the right knowledge. In the classroom also, if you try to argue with the teacher, will he or she impart the right knowledge? They will not be in a position to impart the right knowledge to us also. So we have to be very, very, in a surrendering mode. Only then that pranipat, then prashna, with humble, in submissive mode, we have to ask questions. Then they will impart the right knowledge. So that is the etiquette, even in material terms. So the description of that place, whence having gone, one never returns to this false reflected tree, is given here. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the original root from whom everything has emanated. To gain the favor of that Personality of Godhead, one has only to surrender, and this is result of performing devotional service by hearing, chanting, etc. He is the cause of the extension of the material world. This has already been explained by the Lord himself. Aham sarvasya prabhu. I am the origin of everything. Therefore, to get out of the entanglement of this strong banyan tree of material life, one must surrender to Krishna. As soon as one surrenders to Krishna, one becomes detached automatically from this material extension. So here, it is said that we should surrender to Krishna. since we don't have direct access to Krishna, whom we should surrender? The via medium. Who is the via medium? The Guru, isn't it? So luckily, Arjuna got Krishna as his Guru, direct, Supreme Personality. We don't have the quality or qualifications to get Krishna as our Guru. So he has already assigned the sadhus, the pure devotees, to come here and deliver us from this material existence. Okay, they have been empowered to deliver the fallen conditioned souls. So it is the duty of the spiritual masters to deliver us from this material world. So they have come, but unfortunately, we don't want to accept them. So if we accept a guru, just like how Arjuna accepted, Krishna as his guru, Karpanya dosho pahadap swabhava, isn't it? Now, I'm taking shelter of you. I'm surrendering unto you. Oh, Krishna, I'm in this duality. I don't know what is right, what is wrong. Okay. So please accept me as your disciple and remove all the dualities, remove all anarthas and enlighten me with the right knowledge. So the moment we accept a guru and when we surrender to him, it is his duty to impart the right knowledge. In our scriptures, if you take any example, everyone has surrendered to Guru. Then only they got the right knowledge. Even Lord Sri Krishna, he accepted Santipani Muni. Lord Ram, he accepted Vasishtha and Vishwamitra. Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he accepted Ishwara Puri and Keshava Bharati. So everyone, Dhruva Maharaj, Narada Muni, Vyasadeva himself, Narada Muni. Only, see, Narada instructed so many, devotees like Dhruva, Prahlada, Vyasa, Valmiki, so many devotees, gems, all of them became gems, isn't it? So even Vyasadeva's incarnation. So even when Lord comes, if he doesn't accept a guru, we will not accept him. So if Lord himself comes and if he doesn't accept a guru, how can we accept? For example, can you give any example from our Shastras? We don't take his teachings, but we accept him. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Who is that? We accept him as the avatar of Supreme Lord, but we don't accept his teachings. Who is that?
Buddha.
Yes, Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha is an avatar. Okay, Jayadeva Goswami in the Dashavadara Sutra, he very clearly gives Lord Buddha as the avatara, isn't it? We accept that. But are we taking his teachings? No, we don't. We don't accept his teachings. We accept him as avatara. So when Lord himself comes, but Vyasadeva, he is also Shakti Avasya Avatara, just like Buddha. Buddha is also Shakti Avasya Avatara, and Vyasadeva is also Shakti Avasya Avatara. But we accept. So till Narada Muni instructed him, he wrote so many literatures. But that's all part of the Vedas, Puranas. But which is Grantharaj? Srimad Bhagavatam. Only Narada, after Narada instructed Vyasadeva, whatever he wrote, the Srimad Bhagavatam, that's called the Grantharaj, the king of scriptures, isn't it? So we accept that. So only after Narada instructed Vyasadeva, that became Grantharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj, when Narada was instructing Kayadu, Srimad Bhagavatam, of course, the intention was to instruct Prahlad Maharaj in the womb. Okay, but Prahlad Maharaj became a devotee. Exactly, he has not even seen Narada Maharshi. Okay, not even photos. That time there was no photos, isn't it? No WhatsApp, no photography, no camera, nothing, no video. He didn't even see his spiritual master, but he exactly followed as per the instruction of Narada. He never left. After he came out from the womb of Kayadu, he followed the instruction of Narada exactly. So he never stopped chanting the Lord's holy name. In all situations, at all times, he was always remembering Lord, Supreme Lord Hari. Okay, that is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Marchanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So that is Guru. So you have to accept a Guru. Dhruva. The first Guru was Dhruva's mother. Who is that? Suniti. So that Guru was Pata Pradarshak Guru, Vartama Pradarshak Guru, who showed the way. You, if you want, you have to go to Narayana and pray or worship him. So she showed the way. But who became the spiritual master? Narada Muni. Narada Muni told him, you make a statue of Lord Vishnu, he showed, and worship him. When he was in just 5 years old, and he meditated 6 months, first with some fruits and water, then without fruits, then without water, like that, 6 months, Ghor Tapas. Vishnu had to come down, and he got enlightened. He got through, not self. Whereas Buddha got enlightenment on his own capacity. Not by accepting Guru. Without accepting Guru, he got enlightenment. That's why nobody follows his scripture, his teachings. He got enlightened. He is also Shakti Avatara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, till 24 years, he did not take sannyas also. And just before taking sannyasa, he took Diksha or discipleship from Ishwarapuri. Till then, he was doing all mischievous activities, all naughty activities, just like how Krishna was doing the childhood. He was also doing the childhood pastime. So actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Krishna himself. He could have started his Leela from the beginning. He did not do that, isn't it? Only after he accepted Ishwarapuri as his Guru, he actually exhibited the mission, the purpose of his avatara. Why he didn't start early? The moment he was born, why he didn't start? What was the reason? How then Ishwarapuri can be glorified? Okay, if he starts from beginning itself, he will tell. Even Ishwarapuri initiates him, people will tell. That is only for namesake. He is already Bhagwan, we know it. But to give credit to Ishwarapuri, he did not do any Leela as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. Although it is Channavatara, hidden Avatara, only after Ishwarapuri accepted him as a disciple, then he totally changed. A total paradigm shift happened. Isn't it? Valmiki, Narada Muni. Chitraketu, Narada Muni, Angira Maharishi. Okay. So all of them, everybody accepted. Everybody accepted Guru. So since we don't have the access to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, how Arjuna got this opportunity or facility? But we don't have. So our only via medium is the spiritual master. And if it is said in the scriptures that actually, we have so many relatives. We have father, we have mother, we are, bandhus, relatives, we have friends. And our attachment, just like you say, we are attached to our father, with the robe, that is the attachment. To another mother, another robe, relatives, another robe. And all this robe together, we should accept the spiritual master who is as good as the Supreme Personality of God. So all this rope together, make it one, and that should be tied to our Guru. Okay, that should be our relation. So more than everybody, we should be surrendering to our Guru. He is the person who is showing us the right path to the back home, back to Godhead. If not equal, if it is more, also no problem. If you can give, respect to the Guru more than the spirit, more than Supreme Personality of Godhead also, Krishna is more happy. That's what. So more than Krishna, if we respect our Guru, who is showing us the right path to spirituality, we should do that. He is happy. So Krishna doesn't like who is worshipping him directly. Krishna doesn't like that. He likes those who become the devotee of his devotee. Dasanu, dasanu, dasa. At the same time, if a guru is not showing you the right path to reach Krishna, he can be rejected. Who is that example from the scriptures? A guru who is rejected?
Bali Maharaj's
Yes, Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj, Shukracharya. Okay. Shukracharya was rejected because he was deviating him from going to Krishna, Vamanadev. Even though when he came to know that he is Krishna himself, Vishnu himself. So he rejected him, just followed, the spiritual, Supreme Personality of God at Vamanadev. Isn't it? So this is the important of Guru. So we all have to, approach a spiritual master who can help us to cut down this attachment of this material world and take us back home, back to God. Rishabhadev. Okay. Bharat Maharaj, Navayogindras, all of them, Rishabhadev, although their father, they became Guru for them. Isn't it? Kapila to Mother Devahuti. Devahuti accepted her own son Kapiladev, spiritual master, and took teachings from him. And only after that we got the Sankhya philosophy. Isn't it? So the importance of Guru, we should not just take it lightly. Guru can deliver us. We don't have the qualifications to go to the Supreme Lord directly. We are impure. So he will make us pure, qualified to attain the Supreme Lord, our original home. So that's why here the surrenderance. So Lord says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava, Matha Sarvam Pravatyade, Idi Matva Bhajande Mam, Udhabhava Samanvita. I am the origin of everything. Therefore, to get out of the entanglement of this strong banyan tree of material life, one must surrender to Krishna. So here, instead of Krishna, for as far as we are concerned, Krishna is spiritual master for Arjuna, for him, right? But as far as we are concerned, we should surrender to Krishna, but through the Guru. Okay, we should definitely surrender to Krishna only, but then who helps us in the process? Guru. As soon as one surrenders to Krishna, one becomes detached automatically from this material extension. So this is what this particular verse says. So any questions or any comments? You have all the riches, you have all the beauty, you have all the name and fame, you have all the knowledge, but if you don't have Guru, what's the use? No use. Okay, it is just like an ornament on a dead body. Okay, all these opulences of richness or knowledge or power, influences, just like an ornament on the dead body. What is the use of ornaments on the dead body? So Guru, in our scriptures, the importance of Guru is such that one cannot just take it lightly. So it is and when you surrender to Guru, when you serve the Guru, for example, our Narottam Das Thakur, Loknath Swami, he never took any disciple. He himself said, I am not qualified to become a Guru. I am myself is a disciple. How can I? But then Narottam Das Thakur was, just somehow he wants to, get the discipleship of Loknath Swami, such a highly elevated, realized soul. So he tried his level best. He could not become his disciple. Then, whenever he wants to, go out to the field for attending nature's call, he goes after he does everything, then he goes and cleans with his own hand that place and makes it very nice and put some Sugandha and everything, and that atmosphere also big. So every time when he goes, is this the same place that I've been coming for attending nature's call? This become very clean. Who is doing that? So once he came early, then he saw that Narottam Das Thakur was cleaning that place. So his heart broke. This boy, who is the son of very rich person, is doing this menial job for me. How is that you are doing this? You are such a... So this is my, ill fate. That's what Narottam Das Thakur says. Okay, what is that? I am known as the son of a rich person. I cannot give a seva to anybody. I cannot serve my spiritual master. I am being served because I am rich. I don't want this position. Please, Gurudev, please accept me. I've been trying to get your discipleship so many times, but you, Richard, please accept me. And after seeing this, Loknath Swami just embraced him. And all the knowledge was transferred into his heart. Narottam Das Thakur. So that is how Narottam Das Thakur became a pure devotee, and he got all the knowledge, just like how Garbhoddar Sai Vishnu imparted all the knowledge into the heart of Lord Brahma. So he got all the knowledge, just like how Narada Muni transferred all the knowledge into the heart of Prahlad when he was in the womb of his mother Kayadu. So this is the benediction of the Guru. Okay. So if we are totally surrendering, they can empower. How do you think that all the disciples of Prabhupada, could carry out this task, which is we can't even think of? How is it possible? People with no Vedic background, no culture, nothing, they became acharyas. They could do tasks which we cannot even imagine. How is it possible? Because Prabhupada has empowered them. Empowered them. It is not possible. So when they go to any places where there are litigation, where there are problems, how they can, they could come out, victorious. How they could come out victorious? Because it is Prabhupada who is empowering all of them. There are so many cases, legal cases and everything, litigations were there. Wherever they went, they all came successful. And they were sent to places like China, Pakistan, Iran. It's very difficult to go, but they went there, they propagated, they made devotees, Russia. It's all by just empowerment, the Guru's empowerment. Otherwise, do you think that these people can do that alone? No. It is just the empowerment. So if we totally give our life to Guru and with his tapobal, when he blesses us, everything will fall in place. So this is the importance of Guru. So Arjuna, has accepted Lord Krishna as his spiritual master. Initially in the first chapter, he was treating him as friend, right? From the verse, Karpanya Dosho, he accepted him as his Guru. So once he accepted him as his Guru, Krishna as his Guru, then he was guiding him. Surrender with your intelligence. Don't surrender your intelligence. Then you will not be able to make out what is right, what is wrong. Surrender with your intelligence. Use your intelligence. Surrender to a Guru who is coming in the right disciplic succession. Don't surrender to any Tom, Dick and Harry. Especially in the age of Kali. We should know who is the right person who is coming in the Sampradaya. Okay, that we should know. And if that, any Guru for that matter, if he is taking us towards the right direction, he is coming in the Sampradaya, he is not after money, name, fame, and everything. Many of the Gurus, they are after the wealth of the disciple, so-called Gurus. They are after the wealth of the disciple, the material Gurus. I mean, the so-called spiritual Gurus, but their intention is to get some money from the disciple. such gurus we should immediately, if we come to know such gurus, immediately we should relinquish, we should cut the relationship. So this is a very important lesson that we have to learn from this, that we all should accept a guru. Without guru's mercy, it is not. If we have the mercy of guru, from any situation we can come out. Yes, so any questions or any? Any comments or any questions? No? So is it clear that I was talking about the Guru Tattva? Okay. The importance of Guru. So anyway, so I will stop here also. I have a guest also from Bombay. So a short class. I will meet you. Hare Krishna Parag Prabhu. Dandu Pranam.
Hare Krishna Pranam.
So you are leaving on 19th, right?
No, Prabhuji, 16th night, 17 morning.
70. Okay. How is Mataji? She is fine?
She's okay, Prabhuji. Means last 2 days she was really sick. Today, I think so she's getting a little better, but she's still having cough.
Okay. Please convey our Hare Krishna to her.